We just won this bus off of an online auction for $1,800. It is a fully running and driving 2008 Thomas school bus packed with a 7.2-liter Caterpillar C7 and a 5-speed Allison transmission. This bus is roughly 40 feet long and has a rated seating capacity of 84 passengers, but it's not gonna stay that way. But before we can do anything to this, we have to get it home. Now, the trip home was a 200-mile trip across northern Ohio, where we had to go from Warren up in the northeast part of the state, all the way over to the northwestern side of Ohio, just outside of the Lima area. One of the first things we did was plan our route, and stops along the way just to make sure we planned for it if anything were to happen. The first black arrow was where we were going to keep this bus if it wasn't going to be safe to drive all the way back to Lima, but after a test drive and doing a little bit of a pre-trip, we determined that if we just took it easy, we'd probably be fine. The two dark red arrows along the Ohio Turnpike are the first two stops we made to double check everything on the bus to make sure it was all still going smooth. And all still looked pretty good, so we continued on. We decided to skip our next two stops once again, which are those following two black arrows, as, once again, everything was still going smooth. So we didn't end up stopping again until we got to that light red arrow right by Upper Sandusky, where we stopped for gas.
Dude, I hate waiting in line for fuel.
Attention kids, just remember jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
After that, we finished off our last hour of our drive and we got it home safely, to where it's sitting right now. So, what's the plan with this bus? In short, get it down to Talladega Super Speedway for the NASCAR races the weekend of April 25th through 27th. So, as of the recording of the following clips, that gave us about 3 weeks to get this done. So, let's dive into it. The first thing I want to address is the tires. Unfortunately, they are 17 years old and very dry rotted. This bus is a 2008 model year, so it's 17 years old. Those tires are 17 years old. They're the original tires still, so they're gonna have to go. As you can see here, the stop sign on the bus was already removed, and the flashing warning lights were also already disabled. But, as you can still see, it is still the bright school bus yellow. In the state of Ohio, any school bus not being used for the transportation of children or owned by a previously licensed school bus driver cannot remain school bus yellow. So the plan for that is to just paint it black, but that's going to come down the road. For now, I'm more concerned about getting the maintenance done and getting the seats ripped out. As for when we do the painting, they already spray painted over the warning lights. That was just the place we bought it from, but they did it super sloppily. And they just got spray paint down the back window here, as well as the windows on the front. So when we do the painting, we will have to either use a razor blade to get that off, or use hopefully an amino acid will hopefully also work. As for now, currently the duct tape is just covering the hole for the driver's side headlight. I just have that out because the headlight was out. I finally have the new one in, so that's the first thing I'm going to do is get that headlight reinstalled. So I decided to skip most of the installation up to this point because I put the assembly on wrong. Those metal brackets are supposed to go behind the little yellow panel on the school bus. I have them in front, so it won't go together. But you can see my confusion on, because I don't realize that yet. So I'm going to get up, go check the passenger side, and then finally come back and put it together correctly, but yeah, I'm just being dumb. Also, I do apologize for the wind noise. The weather in Ohio has been not great for the last about week. Want to say that last part again that you I heard when I was working on that headlight? Something about you not having a project car?
What do you mean? I don't have a project car.
Well, you gotta say I have a project truck actually.
No, this isn't mine.
Oh yeah, it's not yours anymore.
No, I sold it for 15 grand.
Oh yeah, but just conveniently 15 grand to Dominic, so it's just still sitting in our garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just ordered a new timing chain, gaskets, and header studs. So it should go back together hopefully this weekend. And then maybe get it running by the end of the weekend, but I doubt it, so.
Little bit of context on that truck. The goal of that build is actually to turn that 99 Dakota into a drift truck. But more on that as the build continues on. The next task on the chopping block is changing the oil and the fuel filters. For the filters and the oil, it was about $260, which honestly is a little bit cheaper than I expected. Now, this bus does have 3 fuel filters, a primary fuel filter, a fuel water separator, and then a secondary fuel filter. I'm going to start with getting that primary off. So the primary fuel filter is located towards the back of the bus, right by the drive shaft, and near the rear differential and rear axle. From the condition of it, you can see how bad this one is. Who knows how old this filter is, but the main reason I'm doing these is because on that drive from Warren all the way back to Lima, the bus did develop a little bit of a rough running condition. Nothing terrible, but with all the work we're already going to be doing to this bus, might as well get them done. Now, as you can see on video now, I have the new filter on, and I'm just finishing tightening it up now. As for the fuel water separator and the secondary fuel filter, those are both located right behind the driver front tire by the leaf spring. The fuel water separator has the water and fuel sensor connected directly into that plastic piece on the bottom of the filter, but I didn't record any footage of me actually changing these, so boom! Magically both of the filters had changed. So the old fuel coming out did look pretty bad. So there's going to be stuff chopped in the line still, so I might have to take that yellow tray off again, clean it out again as I run this bus a couple of times. I'll just do that in a bit, but for now, I'm going to get the bus primed and ready and make sure that everything is done correctly for these fuel filters. The priming process for this system is pretty easy. For the Cat C7 engines equipped with a human injection system, which this one is, all I have to do is just turn the key one click to the right, let the fuel pump run for about 20 seconds, and then shut the key back off. I just have to repeat that 2 more times, and then the engine should start up no problem. So I'm going to fire this thing up. So I did leave it running for a couple of minutes, got under the bus, just made sure neither of those fuel filters were leaking. Everything looked good, so let's get this oil change done now. So getting back under the bus here, the oil filter is just this big boy right towards the front here, and the oil drain plug is only a couple of feet behind it. Both pretty easy spots to get to, should be pretty simple. There it goes. Yeah. Alright, so while the oil is draining out, I am going to put new oil into the oil filter. I did the same thing for the fuel filters as well, but obviously with diesel fuel. I just forgot to mention that until now. Then the oil filter is just about back on there. Just going to make sure it's snug. Looks like it is. It's not going to go anywhere. time to put that plug back in. Alright, I've got that plug tightened back up here now. Seems like it's on there pretty good. Not gonna, force it. Don't want to strip it around it, but it's tight. Time to get that oil in. Oil capture is right on top of the engine inside the bus, of course. Dipstick sits right behind it, and as you can see on the valve cover right here, someone wrote that it takes 23 quarts of oil. As for these Caterpillar C7s, they took anywhere from about 4.75 gallons up to about 6.75 gallons. That really depended on the depth of the oil pan. Not 100% sure what this bus actually takes, so I'm just going to follow what's written on the valve cover there. Alright, the 23 quarts of oil is in. Let's fire the engine up again and make sure that nothing is leaking. Everything seemed to be good. It built proper oil pressure. Oil dipstick looked fine, so went ahead and got the doghouse put back on here. And as you can see, I'm pretty much running out of daylight here, so I'm going to finish getting cleaned up from everything that I did today, and then I'm probably going to call it a night. To everyone who watched the video up to this point, I do sincerely want to thank you for doing so. Of course, this is the first video on this channel, and liking the video as well as subscribing to the channel would go a long way for us. As for the future videos, I've already bought better equipment and hope to only increase the video quality from here on out. As for the next upload, I'll try to get another video out within about the next week, but we only have 2 more weeks from the upload date of this video to get this bus on the road. So that will take priority. Videos might fall just a little bit behind. But once again, I do want to just thank you for watching.